welcome to United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters. I am Jack Spurtback here along with Metal Bob. Metal Bob, it's great to be back with you.
Good to see you again, Jack. Let's just hope the small guy gets back with me soon. Nothing against you, but we got this chemistry thing going. If you hadn't seen it, see, I'm stuttering already.
All right, what a great show we've got coming up. United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters, we are 2 weeks away, fans, from March Mayhem, one of the biggest cards in UWA history. This week we got some great action. We're going to see the Nightmare in action. We're going to see the Assassins. We're going to see another interview, another clip from the All-Americans.
Gee, that's my favorite tag team.
Also, we get a double main event this week as Mark Stagg and McCracken from the family take on Damage Incorporated.
Which Damage Incorporated guys will it be, do you know?
I have no idea, and the Intercontinental Television title is on the line as the champion, the Philanderer, defends his title against Don Stone.
That should be interesting. We've also got a very special interview coming up that was taped over in the Orient.
Interview taped over in the Orient, and, well, you'll know the guys when you see them. You'll know exactly who we're talking about. Great action coming up, Metal Bob. March Mayhem, like I said, 2 weeks around the corner, and what a big card. Later on, we're going to have the March Mayhem update. We're going to let you know all the matches. We're going to review, preview all the matches, let you know what's going on there, and what a great hour we got. What do you say? Let's get down to action.
Yes, Magnum's waving to us.
Back on up, I'm in my own rules, check it out now. Back on up, I'm my own man, I'm in my own rules. Harlem, Bosnia, church burning, the Middle East, no justice, no peace. Gangsta rapper, now deceased. And what can we learn from this? Eventually the guilty burn from this. It's a universal threat, time bomb ticking, the clock is set. Generation X, live and direct. The Constitution, execution, emancipation, annihilation. Serial right for all stereotypes. Amsterdam got bright red lights. New York's the apple, Hollywood's the dream. LL Cool J must see green. Red hot chili peppers down with the team. From the cradle to the grave, sing this theme. Back on up, I'm in my own rules. Come on now. Back on up, I'm my own man, I make my own rules. I'm in my own rules, check it out now. Back on up. I'm my own man, I make my own rules. Rules, break the rules. Make the 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 rules, break the rules. Back on up. I make my own rules.
You are absolutely right, Metal Bob. Let's get down to ringside to Magnum ZA with the opening contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from the U.S. base from Brooklyn, New York, here is Commando.
Commando, a brand new face here in the United Wrestling Alliance. Hey, salute to you, brother.
And his opponent, led to ringside by his manager.
Wait a minute, Metal Bob, who's this? Get that music, cut that music.
Myself, my name is David Alexander. I represent the interests of the Puerto Rican Nightmare. One thing you might not have seen a couple weeks ago at the end of his match with Deranged was the end of the match. It's all because of the politics. But right here, we want to roll a little clip for you.
Roll a little clip.
So we're gonna take a look at that. We got Magoo in the back. Let's take a look at that clip right now.
David Alexander?
Hey, get the mutts out of there.
Levies will be fine. Come on. Get off of me, man. Come on.
Puerto Rican Nightmare.
I've been watching you. Have you noticed? I represent someone who can help change your destiny. That is, if you're tired of matches that don't lead anywhere. Here, I have something for you. Take this, read it, consider the offer, and be in touch.
Wow, there you saw the action from last time.
Just gotta say two things.
Wait a minute. Let's go back.
If any UWA wrestler ever again in the middle of my business again, you're gonna pay for it. Deranged, I want you, baby. I want you so bad, I'm gonna hurt you. After I finish off taking off this G.I. Joe guy or whatever,
Oh, please.
coming after you.
G.I. Joe, huh? G.I. Joe? I'll show you G.I. Joe.
Oh, no, and I'd believe it. Anything coming out of
Commando.
the mouth of the Nightmare like that, that's a man that's intense personified.
You're not kidding. This guy means business in the ring, and he moves right in on the Commando.
We haven't seen the Commando in action before at UWA Ringmasters.
Oh, his first time his debut here on UWA Ringmasters, and thus far, not faring very well against the Nightmare.
I'd hate to see the name The Nightmare come up on a contract for my first match.
1, 2. Oh, look at that. He rolled right out of it. Rolled right out of the pin, and both men back to a vertical base. The Commando moving in a couple shots and a drop kick right to the midsection of the Nightmare. The Nightmare's staggering in the corner. There's a clothesline to the midsection as well.
See, he's got to keep that going. He can't leave him there to get his second breath. He just can't do it.
Yeah, whip to the ropes coming right at you. Off the ropes, and the Nightmare caught with a clothesline that knocks him down. Comando's got to move in here.
He should snap him into a front face lock there or something.
Look at
Take
him.
the starch out of the man.
Look at him. Wow. Oh, there's a big elbow down by the Commando.
That's a nice barrage.
There you see at ringside the man known as David Alexander. Look at David Alexander right there in the corner of the Nightmare. Wow. Something happened there, and both men are down.
I don't know who got the worst end of that
I
one.
don't know, the Nightmare back to his feet first. He grabs the Commando, and out of the ring goes Commando. And the Nightmare's going to follow him out. The Nightmare likes to wrestle, likes to brawl, likes to fight outside the ring.
He's sending a message right here to Deranged.
Wow, look at that. A body slam there, and the Commando down outside the ring. Seymour Mutz, the referee, coming right out after. Look at this. Oh, man. Wow. Right into the beverage facility right in front of the...
That Puerto Rican Nightmare's got a hard head, though. I don't know if that did much to him.
Commando flies over the top rope back into the ring, and a big leg drop down.
Coming up after this match, Jack, we're going to have the UWA March Mayhem report.
The March Mayhem update. We're going to preview some of the matches for all the fans out there. It's 2 weeks away, March Mayhem. And look at the Commando moving in. Impressive showing in his debut on UWA Ringmasters. The Commando moving in on the Puerto Rican Nightmare. Oh, another drop kick to the midsection. And the Puerto Rican Nightmare in the corner looks to be about out on his feet. Retaliates with a kick to the midsection of his own and a forearm to the top of the head. Look at this. Gonna pick him up for oh, I thought it was gonna be a sidewalk slam, Metal Bob, but down into an inverted backbreaker. 1, 2, no.
This Commando's showing me something here. I haven't heard anything about his record. I haven't seen tapes or anything, but to get into a match this hot and heavy with a man known as the Puerto Rican Nightmare, he's some kind of hot. There's a
1,
Russian leg sweep.
2. Kicks out again. Commando. And look at David Alexander right there. Standing in the corner, calm, cool, collected, just watching this match, watching the Nightmare. Hey, maybe even watching Commando. Who knows? Who knows what's going through the head of this guy? Oh. Commando driving the knee into the knee of the Puerto Rican Nightmare. Oh, and misses a big leg drop and lands down hard. Lands down hard, could have injured his own leg. The Nightmare now limping around. Looks like he may have injured that knee. Oh, but wait a minute. Retaliation to the knee of the Commando. And both of these guys are...
That's what you call a receipt, Jack.
Both of these guys missing a wheel right now, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, no. This is this could tear your knee apart, this move here.
I've seen this happen really bad before.
He's got him tied up in the ropes there. Look at this.
You can tear an ACL like this.
The Nightmare setting up for something. Oh, my God. Look at that.
This Commando's going to think twice about
Oh my
UWA
God!
ever again.
The Nightmare off the ropes for a third time on that leg of Commando. And he really working on that right knee of Commando. I'm surprised Commando's back to his feet.
This is the kind
Nightmare
of
calling for something.
viciousness.
And look at that. Commando's a fiery little guy. Look at him. A little fire plug in there. He's a fire plug. Oh, a DDT.
This is the kind of viciousness out of the man known as the Puerto Rican Nightmare that I'm used to. The Commando's fighting fire with fire. Who's going to come out on top? I can't pick a winner here.
I don't know, but look at this. We got some kind of inverted scorpion deathlock here. The Nightmare. Oh, he's in the ropes. The Nightmare's in the ropes. He's got to break it. Two more mutts right on top of the action. One of our fine officials here in the United Wrestling Alliance. And the Commando down across the back of the neck of the Puerto Rican Nightmare. The Nightmare getting back up slowly as Commando pounds on him. Back into the corner now. The Commando has the Nightmare back there, measuring him. Now he's going to whip him to the ropes. Off the ropes comes the Nightmare. Oh, a drop kick attempt by the Commando. But seems to have lost his footwear. Oh, wait a minute. So much for that.
Is that a combat shoe?
I'm not sure. A combat shoe to the head, if anything. Look at this. The Nightmare's got him up. And what's he going to do? Oh, man. Ran his back in. Slams him down hard. Hooks the leg. 2 and 3. Here comes Deranged. Here comes Deranged. Deranged has attacked. Deranged has attacked the Puerto Rican Nightmare. Somebody's gonna do something about this. Deranged. This guy's crazy. He's deranged. He clotheslines a Puerto Rican Nightmare and just slithers out of the ring.
And there's Deranged's statement about their upcoming match at March Mayhem. That should be a barn burner. I can't wait for it. Tables, chairs, ladders, blood, guts. I can't wait.
Wow, an impressive win by the Nightmare.
What, Magnum? You're not going up to the ring. Magnum refuses. He's afraid that the range is still around.
Yeah, I'd be afraid too. An impressive win by Nightmare. But like you said, Deranged, and that man lives up to his name, Deranged. Running in and attacking the Nightmare and just slithering out of the ring like a little snake. I don't know what's going on, but those two have something to settle at March Mayhem.
What is the official word?
The official word is the Nightmare got the 3 count on Commando. You saw it right there.
Magnum's hiding under the table. He won't tell me a thing.
Speaking of March Mayhem, Metal Bob, let's take you now to the March Mayhem update. We're going to preview all the matches here at March Mayhem. And we've got word on a mystery match at March Mayhem. We'll get to that in just a couple minutes. Let's go to the main event for that. The World Heavyweight Championship. Bombshell Billy defending the World Heavyweight title against the Chameleon. Now listen to this stipulation, Metal Bob. The title can change hands on a disqualification or a countout. Seemingly, that seems to be an advantage for the Chameleon.
It sure does, because that makes the rest of the Steel Stable a non-entity. If they come in and interfere this time, who's going home with the gold? The man that already holds a non-title victory over the champion, that's the Chameleon. And you know what? I think he has a good chance of doing it.
I really believe he does, too. He's been chasing Bombshell Billy around the United Wrestling Alliance for a long time, and finally he gets his shot at March Mayhem against the World Heavyweight Champion, Bombshell Billy. Title can change hands on a disqualification. Title can change hands on a countout. Speaking of the rest of the Steel Stable, Metal Bob, Devastating Derek and Diablo, the World Tag Team Champions of the United Wrestling Alliance, they will put their titles on the line against men who've been chasing them, chasing their titles for a long time. Damage Incorporated. A couple things here, Metal Bob. The stipulation is it's a Texas Tornado match. For you fans that don't know what that means, all 4 wrestlers in the ring at the same time. Now, here's a question for you, Metal Bob. What Damage Incorporated members are going to be in this match?
Why are you asking me? I have no inside line with Damage Inc. All I know is they've been wreaking havoc since they showed up in the UWA. Derek and Diablo have their prized possession, the World Tag Team titles, and that's what Damage Inc. came here for. However, Damage Inc.'s going to destroy everything in their path. They don't care what it takes. All 4 men in the ring at the same time. Which 2 on Damage Inc.'s side? Do you know?
I have no idea. We'll take you to a no disqualification, anything goes match. And you saw right before this update, you saw the tension, you saw the happenings between the Nightmare and Deranged. Well, the Nightmare and Deranged are going to go head-to-head. They're going to lock it up at March Mayhem. And believe you me, an anything goes match means exactly anything goes. And if you're going to put a couple guys like this in an anything goes match, you better put me far, far away from the action, far, far away from the ring, because that's just That just scares the hell out of me.
You
Metal
better
Bob.
put me right up in the front. You better put me in the ring. Get me a little box of popcorn there and a soda, because that's the kind of violence I enjoy. I'm all about the violence and the hardcore angle of this match between the Nightmare and Deranged. Nothing like it. March Mayhem living up to its name in that match alone.
Also, Metal Bob, we have a 15-man over-the-top rope battle royal coming up at March Mayhem. 15 of the top UWA stars that are participating in the other matches. 15 top UWA stars. Listen to this, Metal Bob. The winner of the battle royal gets a shot at the Philanderer's Intercontinental Television title the very next week.
And anytime you've got 15 UWA stars in the ring, anything could happen at all. Bodies flying everywhere, people getting hurt, people going over the top rope and bashing their head on the floor. Anything could happen.
I heard rumors about the Battle Royal at March Mayhem. We're going to have some old stars. We're going to have some brand new stars in the United Wrestling Alliance. It's going to be just fantastic. A 15-man over-the-top rope Battle Royal. Also, Metal Bob, a special challenge match added to March Mayhem. We don't know the stipulation for the match. There will be a stipulation for the match, but we do know now that there were 2 empty slots in that match. 2 empty slots to be filled. One of those slots has been filled. One of those slots has been signed. The name is signed on the dotted line.
Ooh.
MC Sean Magtastic McCracken.
McCracken will be at March Mayhem.
McCracken, the former World Heavyweight Champion, will be at March Mayhem. Now, I don't know if Brandon Styles put the name, in place of the family. If you just put McCracken's name down there, did McCracken sign it? I don't know. But McCracken is signed for March Mayhem.
Maybe
we
the
don't
other
know.
member of Damage Inc.'s going to take him on.
We don't know what's going on at March Mayhem. We do know it's going to be one hell of a card. March Mayhem, 2 weeks from what you're watching right now. March Mayhem coming up on UWA Ringmasters fan. You cannot miss it. Billy Chameleon, Derek Diablo against Damage Incorporated, The Nightmare against Deranged, a 15-man battle royal, and a mystery match. Sean McCracken involved. We don't know who his opponent is, but it's going to be one hell of a contest and one hell of a March Mayhem.
Don't miss it.
Be there. All right. I cannot believe the matches we're going to see for March Mayhem, Metal Bob. What a contest. What a great, great card that's going to be. But right now, let's go back down to Magnum ZA with the next contest here on UWA Ringmasters.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from the Orient, the Mystic.
The Immortal Mystic making his way to the ring here on UWA
And
Ringmasters.
his opponent, from Boston, Massachusetts, here is the Irish Assassin.
The Irish Assassin making his way into the ring. Now I got some information on the Irish Assassin. The Irish Assassin, of course, went to school in Michigan. Also, you know, the school that the Steiners went to school at. A big, big wrestling school. Now the Assassin, I was talking to him earlier before the show. The Assassin wants everybody to know that his name is not the Assassin. His name is the Assassin. They called him that in school, his wrestling days, his wrestling teammates. But his name is Justin Phillips. Justin Phillips. He's going to start wrestling under his real name. He's going to start coming out of the shadow of certain people here in the UWA. And I think we're going to see big, big things coming out of the Assassin, Justin Phillips.
What's going on? Everybody's dropping the gimmick in the UWA.
Well, you know, wrestling comes first, Metal Bob. And I think
Tradition rules.
we're going to see wrestling come first. I think we're going to see a lot of exactly what I'm talking about with Justin Phillips here in the ring.
And he looks like it. I know he's trained in shoot fighting. He's also trained in amateur wrestling.
That's right. He lettered at University of Michigan. He's in there against a tough, tough man, the Immortal Mystic. And the Mystic really just laying some chops and some heavy knife-edge thrusts into the head of Justin Phillips. Phillips off the rope and caught with a big knife-edge chop across the chest. And Phillips can't get up. Have you ever been shot by the Mystic?
Uh-huh.
I never have, and I never want to be.
No, you don't. You don't want that damn rice field either.
Right down, look at this now, tying up the leg. Here's where the shoot fighting comes in, Metal Bob, you were talking about. Wrapping that leg around his leg.
Tap out?
I don't know, if he's tapping out, I think he might just be going for the rope. Referee Ron Jeremy right there on top of the action. Senior referee, Ron Jeremy.
I've said many times, that my most feared move when I wrestled in the UWA was that rice field, and the Mystic can slap that thing on you from out of nowhere.
Oh, there's a big elbow by the assassin, Justin Phillips. Down one,
Hooks the leg.
two, referee.
Good to see Ron Jeremy back.
It is. Hasn't been with us in a few weeks, had some movements, but he's back in action here on UWA Ringmasters.
Front face lock now, applied by Justin Phillips.
Lets it go. What's he going to do? Oh, the Mystic. I'm sorry, out of my view. The Mystic, obviously out of the view of the referee, Ron Jeremy, he raked the eyes of Justin Phillips, and now the Mystic off the ropes with a big elbow.
Justin sort of shakes it off and laughs.
Look at it. He does. He shakes another one off. Off the ropes, the Mystic comes, and, oh, he shoulder blocks Justin Phillips. Justin Phillips seemingly just collapses down on his hands and knees. And the Mystic really just laying some punches to the back of the head.
I think he's playing possum.
I think he may be as well. Look at this cover. One, two. That's a sloppy. Look at that.
There we
He
go.
was playing possum. One, two. No. I thought he got him. Justin Phillips definitely playing possum. Look at him. He's back on his feet. He's dancing around. He's really going to make the moves on the Mystic, but the Mystic just made a move in the lower extremities.
Right as Ron Jeremy turns his head, up comes the arm with a little crotch shot there.
Do you know how long the Mystic has been in professional wrestling?
I have a good clue.
I don't know exactly how long, but I know it's been a long, long time. And they don't call him the Immortal Mystic for nothing.
I'm willing to bet 17, 18, 25 years.
Glorious years, I'm sure. Look at that.
Choked by the Mystic. Mystic riding the back of Justin Phillips.
Really
And
pulling
another
that
choke.
rope. What's he going to do here off the ropes? I think we know what's coming here. Oh! Right across the back of Justin Phillips. He covers up one,
Hooks the leg.
two. Phillips in the ropes.
If that was more towards the center of the ring, I would have to say the Mystic would have that right there. Took the wind right out of Justin Phillips.
Justin Phillips knowing where he is at all times in there. That's very important being a professional wrestler. Having those ropes there, definitely use them to your advantage.
Another submission hold on a leg lock.
He's
Now
gonna.
he's limbering up that leg, maybe looking for a Boston Crab or a figure four later on in the match.
Here's what Justin Phillips is saying. He's saying Mystic could use the ropes to his advantage, running my throat against it. I sure as hell could do the same thing. And right there, that right there looks to be similar to the maybe through the association of the Nightmare. We saw the Nightmare do that earlier on.
The Nightmare sort of drop kicked it. Justin just dropped his whole leg right on top of the man.
We know those two feuded for many, many years outside of the United Wrestling Alliance. They came here, they feuded, they then
Mystic
teamed
writhing
up.
in pain.
Justin Phillips wants everybody to know he's branching out of the shadow of other people. He is no longer with the Nightmare associated with him. He's going out on his own.
That's going to tear an ACL right there. Now there's a, what's he going? Got a leg cross there. He's going for that STF.
Variation of the
Maybe
SDF.
He might flip it over into a bow and arrow.
Oh, look at that. He was about to stretch him big time. And the Mystic, knowing where he is, being the immortal Mystic, being the legend that he is, reaches back and rakes the eyes of Justin Phillips, the assassin. I mentioned earlier he got his nickname, the assassin, from his teammates in school. So he would just tear them up on the wrestling mats, much like he does here in the United Wrestling Alliance.
The story behind that is he went into shoot fighting because he put somebody out in amateur wrestling. Normally, you just try to win the match in amateur wrestling. You don't try to destroy the guy and take his career away, but he did that to, I hear, 2 or 3 opponents. So he went into shoot fighting, and that is his glorious background.
Indeed it was. You saw right there a fireman's carry takedown right into a leg lock, and the assassin from the get-go, Metal Bob, has not taken himself away from the leg of the Mystic. It's a very, very smart move. You take a wheel off from somebody, they're not going to do much.
Not much at all. Referee Ron Jeremy now surveying the damage. In the corner,
Oh.
chop.
Big chop there.
And another
A second
chop.
one. Look at this.
No.
Oh, the Mystic could have lays in 3, 4, 5 chops across the chest of the assassin, Justin Phillips. Phillips in the corner, and the Mystic with a big savant kick to the sternum. Both men collapse.
That was right in the bread basket.
I think the Mystic is blown up a little bit over there. Getting up very slowly.
Both men getting up slowly. They've had the starch knocked out of them.
Justin Phillips rolls over. Picks up the Mystic, and what's he going to do here? A front face lock of sorts. Can't see it from our vantage point, but obviously Ron Jeremy's right there. If it was a chokehold, he'd be breaking it.
A front face lock, or a rear chin lock? I can't really tell.
Whatever it is, it seems to be effective. He whips the Mystic into the ropes. Mystic off the ropes. Ducks under a clothesline. What's this? Catch. Oh! Caught him in an inverted sidewalk slam. Picks up the Mystic. Picks him up. Oh, there's a full one right there. 1, 2, 3. You can count that 300, I believe. The Mystic really dazed. I think the back of his head caught the canvas there.
The winner of the contest, the Irish Assassin.
Or Justin Phillips, whatever the case may be.
The Assassin, Justin Phillips. Another impressive victory here on United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters, and I'm putting it out on the line right now. I see big things happening from the Assassin, Justin Phillips. Many things that I see here in the United Wrestling Alliance. Many athletes coming and going, but the Assassin's been here for a while, Metal Bob, and like I said, big things coming to the United Wrestling Alliance.
I've always said the Assassin's one of the toughest kids on the block, so to speak. Wait a minute. That can't be what I... Yeah, I'm looking down at my list of events here. It's that time again.
It's that time indeed.
Time to go to check out with JP and Chaz.
It's another look. Another adventure with Chaz and JP, the All-Americans.
Just hit the tape.
Hey, baby, where you going, mama? Hey, come on. Where you giving you trouble? Where you going? Who are you guys?
JP, Chaz Whitman.
All Americans.
JP and Chaz Whitman, the All-Americans, on their way to the United Wrestling Alliance, Metal Bob. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, they're on their way all right, and believe it or not, next week we're going to see if they can walk the walk as well as talk the talk. Something I've been waiting to see. Oh, they helped her out. Isn't that cute?
You heard it, United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters fans. Next week, we've seen them for a few weeks now, the Adventures of the All-Americans. Well, next week, we're going to see the debut here on United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters of JP and Chaz Whitman, the All-Americans.
I can't wait.
Never looking back again. They're coming to America. Home.
I cannot wait to see the debut next week of the All-Americans, JP and Chaz Whitman. I'm excited, Metal Bob.
Magnum ZA is calling me. I'm excited to take a look at the next match. Let's talk about the
The
prep. Don't
following
worry about
tag team
it.
contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from South Beach, Miami, Florida, Dalton Payne, and from Philadelphia, Body Damage, they are Damage Incorporated.
Dalton Payne and Body Damage this time around for Damage Incorporated.
Sporting the new baby blue Damage Incorporated shirt,
And their
which I'm
opponent,
sure they want me to
led
talk
to the ring
about.
by JP Brandon Styles. First from Tampa, Florida, Superstar Mark Stagg, and from Cincinnati, Ohio, Sean McCracken. They are the Family.
The Family, Mark Stagg and MC Magtastic McCracken. Oh my God. Look at the pants this guy's wearing.
This should be an outstanding match. Two of the premier tag teams vying for those UWA tag team belts held by the Steel Stable. This match is what it's all about in tag team competition in the UWA.
Held by Steel Stable members Devastating Derek and El Diablo Blanco. Damage Incorporated 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from right now, will be stepping into the ring against the tag team champions Devastating Derek and Diablo. And a Texas Tornado match for the tag team belt.
That brings up a good situation. Say Stagg and McCracken get a victory here. Damage Inc. wins the tag belts. Who's the #1 contender? Yeah, the Steel Stable gets an automatic rematch, but after that's done, Stag and McCracken get another shot.
I have no idea, Metal Bob. Those are the politics that Ray Vassell has to shuffle out on his own. But wow, there's a good way to start off a match right there. A flying tackle, a flying burrito type maneuver that shades of the World Heavyweight Champion Bombshell Billy. Off the ropes, and another one, a variation of it, a one-handed. And McCracken just really moving in on the attack on Dalton Payne, member of a member of Damage Incorporated, along with Body Damage.
Sean's come a long way from being a referee here in the United Wrestling Alliance to being one of the best at what he does, and that's ring technology.
2 years ago, MC Sean McCracken, one of the top, well, he was the senior official of the United Wrestling Alliance. What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, look at that.
Seen that before.
That's all right.
Love that move, though.
Double elbow, high five into a double elbow on Dalton Payne. So saying 2 years ago, Sean McCracken was the senior official here in the United Wrestling Alliance. In 2 years' time, he has been the World Heavyweight Champion. He has been the Intercontinental Television Champion. He has been the World Tag Team Champion.
And Mark Stagg, now the Wiley Ring veteran. The main technician, in my opinion, in the United Wrestling Alliance, going to work on Dalton Payne. Dalton makes the tag. In comes Body Damage.
Mark Stagg, another member of the elite group that has held all of the titles here in the United Wrestling Alliance.
You don't have to keep rubbing that in my face. Let's get back to the match.
Well, Metal Bob, you held up. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Does that mean that in 2 years' time, referee Ron Jeremy will have held all those belts?
I don't know. Jeremy's got a budding movie career, but we won't go into that right now.
Mark measures his man with a nice elbow to the back of the neck.
Oh, look at that, going to the knee. This is definitely the week here at United Wrestling and Ringmasters where they're going for their legs, going for the knees. He's really, really moving in on Body Damage. Body Damage surprises me that a man who brawl and thump and get thumped wouldn't be wearing knee pads out there.
They're tough, plain and simple. They don't need them.
I guess so. He is a tough competitor.
One doesn't wear them either. Dalton's the only one that does.
Wow. Oh, you're going to get your knee slammed to that if you can get past that adversity and get back up from that,
Styles at ringside.
from a knee injury like that. I guess you don't have to wear them. You're as tough as they say they are. Look at that!
Oh,
wow! Scooped up McCracken like he's a piece of spaghetti and just drapes him across the knee.
Into a submission hold.
Body Damage covers 1, 2. Wow.
Dalton Payne prematurely saying that it's over.
Metal Bob, it's moves like that and just viciousness like that that shows why these men are tag team #1 contenders for the tag team title. Dalton Payne tagged in.
Stagg and McCracken short.
Not at all, but Dalton Payne moving in now on McCracken, slams him down, just throws him down. Dalton Payne off the ropes here. What's he going to do here? Jumps over him again and again, and oh, a big elbow drop. 1, 2, no.
Little stutter elbow drop action there. Ron Jeremy right on top of the action as usual. And Damage Inc. seems to have this match well in hand at the moment.
Damage Inc. in control of the match over MC Magtastic McCracken, raking his face across the top of the rope. These guys are as tough as they come, Metal Bob. #1 contenders, and in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time at March Mayhem, they will get their shot, their well-deserved, long-awaited shot at the Tag Team Champions, Devastating Derek and Diablo.
Haley. Oh, you just missed it.
I saw it. You chose to ignore me. Oh! A headbutt down into the lower extremities. I don't know if he caught him or if he may have caught him in the midsection, but McCracken was squirming for all he was worth.
Pardon me, I'm a trifle deaf in this here. You'll have to open your mouth a little louder next time you speak. Quiet or something, I don't know.
Look at this, a figure 4 leg lock by Dalton Payne here. And look at this, Damage Incorporated is going to use any means necessary to get the victory over
Brandon
McCracken
Styles
and Stagg.
over there with that briefcase.
A reversal here, and Dalton Payne wisely into the ropes. Not that he wasn't in the ropes to begin with. but now making it obvious to Ron Jeremy, where he didn't want to before, that he was in the rope, busts to make the break.
McCracken makes the tag. That's not good for damaging. You want to keep the man that's been beaten down in there, but Stagg made the tag. He's in.
Off the ropes is Body Damage, and wow, caught him with an elbow. Stayed on his feet though, however. Off the ropes, and a chop. Body Damage barely going down to his hands and knees. Body Damage picked back up slightly, and there's a tag. Wait a minute, what is this? A double whip into the ropes. Body Damage could be in trouble here. A double flying tackle, Burrito.
Thought he was going to use that briefcase, plate case, whatever it is.
It looked as though he was going to do that. McCracken picks up Body Damage, makes the tag with Stagg again, and Body Damage is some big-time trouble here against the family members, Stagg and McCracken. Double beefer! Wow! It's got to be over here. It's got to be over. No one can survive a beefer by itself, but a double beefer? Wow, I keep looking over to the left side.
There's a tag right through the legs.
Makes the tag with Dalton Payne. Dalton comes in, and he's really going to work on Mark Stagg, one half of the family. Dalton Payne whips Stagg into the ropes. A reversal. Stagg whips him in. Stagg catches him with a clothesline and breaks the momentum faster than it started. What's he going to have here? Wait a minute. That can't. Oh, my God! Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Ron Jeremy allows the case to be brought in and makes the 3 count. You've got to be kidding me.
It's the referee's discretion whether they want to disqualify you or not.
Damage Incorporated.
Damage Incorporated gets the victory.
Victory on their way to March Mayhem.
Look at Stagg, doesn't know what just happened.
I honestly can't say that's a bad move by Ron Jeremy.
I can't believe it. Stagg just got blasted by the case by McCracken on accident.
Mid-timing for the first time in that match, and
wow.
it really ended in their ruin.
Dalton Payne ducked out of the way, and we had a big whopper on the head of Mark Stagg. Damage Incorporated getting the victory over the family, the tough members of the family, Sean McCracken and Mark Stagg. Fans, coming up next here on United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters, we've got an interview sent straight from the Orient. 2 men we haven't heard a lot from the past couple weeks. But we're going to hear some views. We're going to hear some words from a couple guys here. Let's go to that interview right now.
Everybody in the United Wrestling Alliance is shouting out, the Steel Stable's giving the shaft to everybody. Well, I think what it is everybody's giving the shaft to the Steel Stable, and that includes you, Ray Vassell. You see, we come to find out that Devastating Derek and El Diablo have to defend the tag team titles at March Mayhem in a Texas Tornado match against Damage Incorporated. If that's not bad enough, it comes down from the hierarchy that Bombshell Billy takes on the Chameleon for the heavyweight championship of the world. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. The Chameleon defeated me. A lucky day. But it comes down that the title can change hands on a disqualification or a count-out. I know where this all came from. Chameleon, you went to the door, the offices of Ray Vassell, and said, please, Ray Vassell, please do something. Give me the advantage over Bombshell Billy. Because everybody knows that I can't beat the 4-time heavyweight champion. Everybody knows I need an extra edge. Yeah, everybody knows that. You know it, Ray Vassell. You know it, Chameleon. And all the fans and everybody out there watching the Wrestling Alliance each and every week know it. You just can't beat me. So you have to find a way. You have to find an edge. You have to find that little extra something. Well, come March Mayhem, punk. Whether it's a disqualification or a count-out, the ending's going to be the same. I'm going to walk out of the ring with the heavyweight championship of the world around my waist, and you're going to know, just like everybody else knows, from Action Jackson to Mark Stagg to Tall Enough to everybody, why they call me champ. Devastating.
Let's take a quick history lesson right now. It was WrestleTricity, the match that took 13 years to make. Myself, Bombshell, against Mark Stagg and Metal Bob, the 4 founding fathers of this organization. The match that took 13 years to make, Bombshell, took 13 seconds to get ruined by Damage Incorporated. Well, Damage Incorporated, a lot of things have changed since then. Now you've got Dalton Payne with you. So we don't know who's going to be coming out to the ring. We don't know if it's going to be Dalton and one, Body and Dalton, Body and one. Could be any combination, but you know what? We really don't care. You know why we don't care? Because it's Texas Tornado. And even though myself and Diablo are masters of technical wrestling, and Ray Vassell thinks by pulling us out of a technical tag team match and throwing in the Texas Tornado, no tags needed rules, that the master technicians, Double D and Diablo, are going to be out of their element. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. We could brawl with the best of them. Chain match, bull rope match, hard and heavy, you've done it all, and every tag team situation you can imagine. You don't believe it? Ask Metal Bob. Ask Bombshell. We've done everything. So I'm going in there with the experience of 8 years of tag team championship wrestling. And I promise you, boys, everything you've done to us so far in the 6-man, WrestleTricity, everything from WrestleTricity in September all the way up here to March Mayhem is going to come down on your heads. And the only thing that you're going to be worrying about when we're done with you is how can we get our sorry asses to the hospital? Because that's where you're going to be. Chameleon, you think you've outsmarted the Steel Stable? The Steel Stable always does the outsmarting.
Everybody's been wondering, where's Devastating Derek? Where's Bombshell Billy? The big mouths of the United Wrestling Alliance. The big talkers. They're on all the time. They want to be on TV. Well, I'll tell you where we've been. The past 10 days, we've been in Tokyo, Japan, Nagoya, Japan, Osaka, Japan, in the dojos. And when not in the dojos, wrestling in front of 10,000 people.
Budokan Hall.
Wrestling the likes of Hannibal, Dim Sum, Wing Kanamura.
Great
And coming back to the United States with the heavyweight championship of the world. Now, Diablo couldn't make it. He had other things to do. But we got in the ring as hard and heavy on a couple of certain nights. And Wing Kanamura, that big slice above your eye, told the story to you, told you that you didn't forget who Hard and Heavy was. You didn't forget who Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek were. So, we come back to the United States because in the dojos, when we're not wrestling in front of 10,000 people, we're in the dojos day and night, getting our asses kicked and kicking asses, training for March Mayhem. Now, next week, yes, next week on this show, Devastating Derek will not be here. Devastating Derek is going to Massachusetts for one of the biggest matches of his career. I'll let him talk about that in just a second. But next week on this show, United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters, Thunder Tiger, you and I go way back. And I talked to some of your buddies over in the dojos. And they don't like you, just like I don't like you. So Thunder Tiger, bring everything you've got. Because remember, when you get in the ring, next week on UWA Ringmasters, A, you're getting in the ring with the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Bombshell Billy, and B, you gotta remember that a week later, I'm in one of the biggest matches of my career. So don't think for a second that I'm not gonna use you as a pawn in my game against Chameleon. Thunder Tiger, you watch out next week. Because it's going to be sayonara for you. Devastating, wrap it up.
Tall enough, it's as simple as this. You lost a loser leaves UWA match to me. Alright? I jobbed you, son. I jobbed you. However, Now you're calling me out in the IWF, up in Boston, Massachusetts, to have a little match? Well, tall enough, consider it done. Boston, Massachusetts this weekend, myself, tall enough, are going to hook up one more time. It's all over for you, son. And at March Mayhem, it's all over for Damage Incorporated, no matter which two it is. I'm going to hit you so hard, the third member is going to bleed.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. I recognize that place.
What
That's my
place?
favorite geisha. Forget it. That's my favorite
Geisha.
house of... Forget it.
Wow. Big words from the heavyweight champion of the world, Bombshell Billy, along with the world tag team champion, Devastating Derek. Both of these men over in the Orient gearing up for their big matches at March Mayhem.
That's the place the Thunder Tiger's sister works, that's all.
If I may steal this from Paul, I heard it. I choose to ignore it. Magnum.
And it is for the UWA Intercontinental Television Championship. Introducing first the challenger from New York City. Here is Don Stone.
Don Stone challenging the Intercontinental
And
Television
his
Champion.
opponent, knights at ringside by GQ Brandon Styles. He is the current UWA Intercontinental Television Champion from New York. Here is the Philanderer.
Wow, this guy is ripped. The Philanderer, the Intercontinental Television Champion, about to defend the title against the challenge of Don Stone.
Philanderer is awfully stuck on himself, but he is the Intercontinental TV champion. He deserves a bit of ego.
I already checked it.
Don Stone coming into his own, dropping the Johnny Main Street gimmick. Back to his roots. He's got the wrestling tights on and everything.
You need a
Singlet.
great amateur wrestler. Kind of reminds me, kind of along the same lines as Justin Phillips, as we saw earlier.
Very similar. Very similar.
Doesn't need the gimmick, but he's got the wrestling potential to back up everything he's
And there's a shoulder block in the Philanderer down. He can't believe it.
Philanderer, the Intercontinental Television Champion. His manager, GQ Brandon Styles, in the corner. And Don Stone, what a shot this is for him, Metal Bob. What an opportunity this is for Don Stone to come out there against the Intercontinental Television Champion, the Philanderer. And if he were to pick that title up this week, that would be a
Backs him in. Oh, Brandon
Look at
Styles
this.
in with a choke.
Seymour Mutz over there checking the Philanderer, who's, I believe, fabricating an eye injury, allowing GQ Brandon Styles to move in on Don Stone.
Maybe he dropped his contacts. Who knows?
He shouldn't be wearing contacts in the ring. You take him out or something. Something could happen.
What if he's blind without him?
Hey, Tito Santana can do it.
Okay. You wear contacts in the ring, trust me.
I don't wear contacts. I don't get anywhere near the ring.
That's not true.
Oh, look at that! Forget about it.
You've donned the red guy mask a couple times. I've seen you.
What?
You can't.
Big elbow down across the leg, and this is it. Little Bob, this makes it official. It's unanimous. It's the work on the leg week this week on UWA Ringmasters.
Well, hey, that's the definite quickest way to get an advantage is take the
Wow!
whoa.
Don Stone almost took the head off of the Philanderer, the Intercontinental Television Champion, and the Philanderer is very, very slow to get up after that one. I think he may have caught him right across the throat with that. An arm drag and twist into a hammerlock on the Philanderer. The Philanderer not knowing where to go, and Don Stone's going to show him where to go. He's going to run that shoulder right into the top turnbuckle.
Forget taking the wheels out. If he can take the head off, that's good enough.
Tough guy Don Stone. Arm drag and twist again. Right back into the hammerlock on the Philanderer. Philanderer, look at that.
Reversal.
Ducks under a reversal. Beautiful maneuver. This is why he's the Intercontinental Television Champion, and he's really going to wring that arm out of Don Stone. Wow, look at him.
The man can do it all. Each week, the Philanderer impresses me with a different style added to his repertoire.
He is quick as a cat, Metal Bob, I'll tell you that. And with GQ Brandon Styles in his ear, who knows the height this guy can go. There's a clothesline. And he has a very unique clothesline, Metal Bob. He'll hit you, and he'll bring the arm up, maybe hoping to graze the jaw, maybe break the jaw.
I think he did it that time. Don Stone's out like a light.
Look at this. There's a spinning toe hold. Don Stone ducks out 1, 2. We got it. No. Almost had a new champion there. And the Philanderer caught, ducked down a little bit too much on that spinning toe hold. Maybe perhaps a little cocky.
Wait a minute now. Don Stone loosening. Oh. Ah. I thought he was maybe going to load that knee brace, but he just wanted to take it off, and the Philanderer's shoving it right in his face, slapping him in the back with it.
I'm not sure if he wanted to take it off. Maybe he was trying to adjust it, but the Philanderer sure took it off for him. What are we going to have here? A neck breaker. Wow.
Swinging variety.
Don Stone in some big-time trouble here against the Philanderer, the Intercontinental Television Champion. The championship on the line. Look at that. Come on. You got to be kidding me. What do you think this is? Look at that. Now he can finally get some smarts. And still, Don Stone's going to kick out at the count of 2. We see more mustard on top of the action. Don Stone, a right forearm across the head of the Philanderer, and the Philanderer staggers back. Look at him.
Philanderer checking to see if the top of his head's still there.
Side headlock now by Don Stone. Really grinding up on that.
Back to the ropes, into the other ropes. Oh, another shoulder block. Both men go down.
Both men, I think they may have collided heads there, Metal Bob. Both men slow to get back to their feet. GQ Brandon Styles up on the ring apron, right up near the ring. He should be backed away from there. Seymour Mutz, the referee, should be getting that guy down. He shouldn't be up on the ring. He shouldn't be touching the ring at all. There's a savant kick, and Don Stone has to get up. He has to get the fortitude together to get on this guy, because if he doesn't, he's going to let this title opportunity slip away. Right on top of the Intercontinental Television Champion. To the ropes goes the Philanderer. Off the ropes and a big wow! 1, 2. Philanderer in the ropes. A beautiful maneuver there by tough guy
Shades of
Don
Arn Anderson.
That's right, the great Arn Anderson. Don Stone back on the attack of the Intercontinental Television Champion, the Philanderer. Philanderer really slow to get up. What's this going to be? A pile driver.
Drive.
Oh, man.
Oh, he folded the Philanderer like an accordion.
1, 2. Wow. Stone folds 5.
Oh. I don't know about folding 5, but he folds a Philanderer right there.
A Philanderer really, I think he may have just jammed his neck. He's in big-time trouble here. Don Stone has to go for the cover. He's got to work on that neck. He's got to do something to the Philanderer. The Philanderer reverses it into the corner. Goes Don Stone. The Philanderer, wow, this guy is tough as nails. Oh, man. There's a chop.
Sent him right down to his keister.
He's going to just rip the chest apart of Don Stone.
Behind. Loop. Oh, there's a kick to the knee.
This Philanderer is tough as nails, Metal Bob.
He says, don't get up, stay down, please.
He beats him and beats him and beats him and beats him and beats him, and the Philanderer still keeps coming back.
Face first in.
Wait a minute, we got the blind date here. Setting him up for the blind date. There it is. You can hear the back of the neck slap against the canvas. And there's a cover. 1, 2, 3. That's it. This match is over. The Intercontinental Television Champion.
And still UWA Intercontinental Television Champion, the Philanderer.
Who holds the belt, Styles or the Philanderer? It's hard to tell.
I don't know. GQ Brandon Styles, he's always wanted to be a wrestler, I believe. It seems like. Nonetheless, the Philanderer, still the Intercontinental Television Champion. Which brings us to talk about March Mayhem once again. Well, before we talk about March Mayhem, and before we talk about next week's big card, let's run down a couple things that we have failed to mention throughout the show, Metal Bob. First of all, the P.O. Box. Let's tell them about that.
If you want to correspond with any of us here at the United Wrestling Alliance, do so at our new P.O. Box number. The old one, it's not going to work. We're not going to get it. Toastmasters are going to get it or somebody. It's P.O. Box 92 North Syracuse, New York, 13212. Once again, P.O. Box 92, North Syracuse, New York, 13212, UWA Ringmasters.
And EU fans that have sent to the old P.O. Box of 54, the mail will be transferred over to 92, but 92 is definitely the new P.O. Box owners. Also, if you want to reach us on the World Wide Web, you can reach us at the UWA homepage at www.angelfire.com/little-n-little-y/UWA Ring. UWA Ring in all capitals. That's going to bring you to the UWA homepage. From there, you can spawn off to everybody's page. You can go to my page, where I up close and personal interview UWA superstars.
Check them all out. There's not a bad one in the bunch.
There's not a bad one in the bunch, indeed. Metal Bob, let's talk about next week here on UWA Ringmasters, because it only gets better as the weeks go on. 2 weeks from March Mayhem. Listen to these big matches coming up. As we mentioned earlier in the show, it's the debut, Metal Bob, the debut of JP and Chaz Whitman, the All-American.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but at the end of the match, I'll tell you if they were able to walk the walk. We know they... just go to the next match. What is it?
Next week, also on this big card, Action Jackson, the former heavyweight champion of the world, takes on the man who hopes to become the heavyweight champion of the world in 2 weeks, the Chameleon.
Chameleon's got something to prove on his way to March Mayhem. He's going to put a big exclamation point on it for Bombshell Billy.
And as we heard, speaking of Bombshell Billy, as we heard him say earlier in the broadcast, Bombshell Billy will be here next week defending the United Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship. 1 week before March Mayhem, I can't believe he's putting the title on the line. He'll be defending the title against the challenge of the Thunder Tiger.
Why can't you believe he's not going to put it on the line? The man has really not run away from much in his career. 4-time UWA World Heavyweight Champion. Bombshell Billy's as tough as they come. The Thunder Tiger, however, no stranger to gold in the UWA or elsewhere.
4-time UWA champion, which means he's lost it just as many times. Little Bob, we're 2 weeks away from March Mayhem. Unbelievable action coming up at Mayhem. Let's run that down one more time real quick. We got the mystery match. We don't know what the stipulations are going to be. We do know that Sean McCracken is signed for that match. We don't know who his opponent's going to be. We don't know how long we have to wait to find that out. But Sean McCracken is going to be in that match. A battle royal, a 15-man battle royal. The winner of that match gets a shot at the Intercontinental Television Champion, the Philanderer. And the following week after that, the Nightmare takes on Deranged in an anything goes, no disqualification match. That's going to be incredible. The tag team titles on the line in a Texas Tornado match. Devastating Derek and El Diablo defending against Damage Incorporated. And the main event for March Mayhem 2 weeks from right now, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line as Bombshell Billy defends against the challenge of the Chameleon. The title can change hands on a disqualification or a count out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we got this week on UWA Ringmasters. For Metal Bob sitting here in the color booth, I'm Jack Spurtback saying so long till next week on United Wrestling Alliance Ringmasters.
Somebody get his nitro, he's turning red.
Break the rules, break the rules, break the rules.